Hi, Bernie.
Okay, good morning, Facebook people. We are live on Facebook now. And, don't see anybody on there yet, but they will be. Oh, now we're getting on. I see, looks like Billy and Shayna, and the little icons are too small.
I know.
I can't tell who the others are. Oh, Kim Barron. Hi, Kim. Billy and Shayna. And there's another icon there, but I can't tell who it is.
I'm logging on right now, so one
Oh,
of them
okay.
will be me. I like to be able to respond in the
To both?
Facebook feed.
Yes. Yep, there you are. You're on. Can you hear me on Facebook?
Let me turn it. I had it turned all the way down.
Okay.
Say something again.
Can you hear me on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay. Good. You know what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the speakers from my office at church home. Try to get a little more volume onto the Facebook part. Oh, and the other thing I keep
so many
forgetting.
birds this morning.
I got the most wonderful clear plexiglass birdhouse that suction cups to your window for Mother's
Oh,
Day.
weird.
It's beautiful. I'm so excited to be able to watch the birds up close.
Yeah. Snowflake is watching the birds up close.
I bet. I bet.
That's her Mother's Day gift. Hey, Sam.
Well, it looks like my background is trying to pop through. The New Mexico sky is there behind my
Yeah,
bed. That's
it's
kind of
like-
magical.
Sam's hair's on fire.
Not bad, the New Mexico sky. Pretty magical, though.
Yeah.
Is that a GIF or something? It looks like it's flickering. Or is that just...
No, I guess it was because there's multiple colors back here, so
Oh.
I was trying to pick up maybe on multiple surfaces. I don't know.
Yeah. Recognize mine?
Yep, sure do.
Okay, I have got 11 o'clock.
I do too.
All right, good morning, everybody.
Good
Good
morning.
And welcome to Unity of Joplin. And our beginning of a new series and our Mother's Day celebration. So
Yeah,
happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there.
absolutely.
Four-legged, two-legged, winged, all kinds.
And happy Mother's Day to you, Gordon.
Well, thank you. We all have both energies within us, don't we?
Absolutely.
And I'm going to move it to where our Facebook friends can see us.
And I'm going to invite our Zoom viewers to mute their microphones as we get started. Yeah. There's a nice vision. We're going to be back in that room soon. I'm affirming. We'll go ahead and get going this morning. As you're here, we want to share our social media check-in, and it is I behold the beauty of all spiritual paths. I do. How about you? Yeah. I behold the beauty of all spiritual paths. So check in at Unity of Joplin, even though we're not physically there, we are there in spirit, just as we are here together as one. Our gathering song today is A World Awakening.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Hear you.
Okay, can you see the slides?
No, just the social media one.
Yeah, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Alrighty, you ready?
No more fighting, hearts uniting, all one people, all one dream. Hate is dying, love is rising, all the world awakening. Children of one God, one planet, let the earth and heaven sing. Join the angels, join the stranger for a world awakening. For a world awakening. For a world awakening. One day all the world is watching. Time brings us a common theme. Peace our anthem. All welcome to a world awakening. For a world awakening. For a world awakening. New ideas and new beginnings, that's what each tomorrow brings. Freely giving, we are living in a world awakening.
Oh, wow. Every week they pull it off, don't they? That was beautiful. If you are on Facebook, show some love for our music team. Oh, my goodness. You probably already are, but get those hearts going. My. Thank you so much to Gary and Jerry. And thank you, John and Michael, for coordinating the recording of it all. We are truly blessed by the gifts you share with us. And yeah, you're the best. Thank you. Thank you. We are also going to be welcoming Billy. He is in the Facebook chat as our trustee of the day. And anything you need, you just let Billy know. He is there for you, and we appreciate it. Thank you, Billy, for your service. And yeah, that's me about 100 years ago, 3 hair colors ago, but whatever. I'm here to kind of serve as, I love that, angel of ceremony. And of course, Gordon will be doing our meditation and our lesson today. Thank you, Gordon. And yes, we continued the celebration of Gordon and his birthday from yesterday. What a beautiful weekend to have launched another trip around the sun. We're grateful for you, Gordon. We also want to take this time to bless our gifts and love offerings. If you have a tithe to share, you can either symbolically take it in your hand at this time, or you can just physically bring it into your hands at this time. And yes, I love this part. We always remember our mission and our value statement, and we are grateful to be living that expression at Unity of Joplin. So go ahead and take those gifts and join me in blessing them. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all of the needs of Unity of Joplin and those we serve are bountifully met. From every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected, our abundant good is here now. Thank you, God. Thank you. And we know that these tithes and offerings are dedicated to the will and work of Spirit through Unity of Joplin and for the highest good of all. Thank you. Amen. Amen. Our announcements are just a few today. We are having a new class starting in June, and I'm excited about that. Mystics of the Middle Ages, and how they influence our modern new thought. Oh my gosh, let's take a second just to read this. Look at all these people we'll be studying. Wow. Wow, there's some heavy hitters right there, folks. All of these teachings that helped to create our teachings. Wow, that's going to be great. So starting in June, I believe Gordon said, right? Yes.
Or
Okay.
once we finish the current class,
Yeah,
which I'm
right.
shooting for June.
Good, good. Okay, thank you. All right. And Gordon's, a lot of us are willing to kind of stick around after the service and visit a little bit. We're happy to do that with you. And I missed the evening check-in. Sorry about that. No evening check-in tonight, but Gordon has been faithfully serving us on Facebook Lives every night at 8 p.m. Yeah, I love the study that we're doing there. And these are just, I think of them as tapas plates, right? Tapas for the soul, just little bites and morsels of inspirational thoughts for us to kind of focus on the next day. So check into Facebook Live at 8 p.m. every night except Sunday.
Yeah, and it's about 10, 15 minutes, no longer than that.
Yeah,
Sometimes not even that long.
Right. It's really a lot of fun, and you can catch the replay too, and so that's always inspiring as well.
Whoops.
Yeah.
Let's do our next song, I guess.
We're ready. Oh, no, we're not. Sorry, we need Michael first. Can we do the daily word?
What happened to the slide? Oh, well, it's supposed to be after the song, but okay. I can't go to the slide because it'll play the music.
Whichever you want to do.
Let's do the song first.
Michael's flexible.
Yeah, we'll do the song first.
Yes.
Okay.
For the joy so peaceful, calm, and mild. All to Thee we raise this our hymn of grateful praise.
And now we do the daily word. With Michael. Hello, can you hear me?
I honor all mothers and am grateful for their love. I bless my mother and I am grateful for her for the gift of nurturing love. Whether my mother is still with me or has passed on, her love still lives in my heart and her wisdom continues to inspire me. I am grateful for the many ways my mother has blessed me. I also feel deep appreciation and tender affection for all those who have blessed me with the selfless gift of motherly love. I would not be who I am without them. It's true. Through the living example of the mothers in my life, I pass along the blessings of a mother's care and devotion as I embrace opportunities to share an affirming thought, an encouraging word, a smile, or a simple act of kindness. I honor my mother and all mothers as I share the love of God that never fails. She opens her mouth with wisdom, and the teaching of kindness is on her tongue. Proverbs 31:26. And if we want to do that little repeating after me thing again, I printed it out. I honor my mother and all mothers as I share the love of God that never fails.
Okay, thank you, Michael. And now we come to that time of meditation, so I invite you to turn within. Gently come into conscious awareness of your breath. And as we celebrate Mother's Day, we celebrate the energy of Mother. We celebrate the divine principle of the feminine, which emanates from the Creator through all of creation. Mother God, I feel your radiating presence. Your presence that gives me life. Your presence that brings me into new experiences. New experiences of life on this planet. New experiences with opportunities to love and be loved. In this energy, we find the ability to nurture, to support, to raise up ourselves, our loved ones, and the entire planet. Through the divine mother energy, I am a radiating center of caring and compassion for my fellow humans, for all life and all of creation. Regardless of which gender I have chosen for this life experience, or what expression, that divine feminine energy is a part of who and what I am. Today I quicken that energy. I allow it to flow. As I remember my mothers, regardless of how they showed up, They were the one who brought me into this experience, who birthed me into life. And I honor their commitment, their nurturing, their support, their lessons. And the highest honor I can give is to pay that energy forward. Entering into silence, I open myself up to the divine mother energy of God. I feel it flowing in me, through me, and from me, blessing all life in the silence. In this mother energy, I send life to the world. I send this energy that all too often has to take a back seat to the masculine. I quicken this energy, bringing balance, restoring the divine feminine in all creation, in my awareness and in my expression. I say thank you to my mother, to all mothers, to motherhood, and to the mother energy that God is. And so it is, and so she is. Amen.
There is a smile that shines so brightly. There is a smile I see every day. There is a face, a beacon of light. She guides me along the way. There are two hands that held me gently. There are two hands that reach out for me, to give a hug or give me comfort. Your love is all I need. Mother's Day is here. It's that time of year, giving thanks for your love, for your kindness, your warmth, your guidance, a gift from above. There is a heart that shares my secrets. There is a heart that shines in the night. She fills my days with warmth and with laughter, making my future bright. There is a home that's full of sunshine. There is a home, a place I belong. My mother makes it extra special. She fills my days with song. kindness, your warmth, your guidance, a gift from
Ooh, all right. Thank you, music team, Gary and Jerry and John and Michael, who just the tech part of it. It just gets better and better every week. And happy Mother's Day to everybody. And are we live now? Back on screen? Good. Okay. Well, bear with me here. I'm kind of stalling to get our Facebook switched here for our Facebook people so you can see all of us and be with us. We are starting a new series this week, exploring the evolution of spirituality, because we know it didn't start with Christianity. It definitely didn't start with unity. It didn't start with Buddhism. It didn't start with Zoroastrianism. It goes all the way back to the beginning of humanity. And so we're going to be looking at all the different, well, not all of them. There's thousands, but many of the more well-known spiritual paths, religions, and explore just how they tie into our unity beliefs. You know, religions don't just pop into existence. And they do not come on tablets, really, from God. They come from our own seeking, our desire to evolve. Really, what religion is? It's spiritual evolution. And religion is the practice that we use to try to understand our spiritual evolution, to try to engage it. And religion is very human, whereas spirituality is more a soul-level experience. But the two do go hand in hand. And as long as we are having the human experience, we have to recognize that we also have a religious experience. I'm always somewhat tickled when I hear people say, well, I'm not religious, but I am spiritual. That in and of itself is religion. You cannot help but be religious. An atheist is every bit as religious as an evangelical, even though they will deny it. It is the truth, because religion is practice, and atheism is a practice, Christianity is a practice, Buddhism is a practice, Wiccan is a practice, and so we do have religion, whether we choose to admit it or not. I think the only real issue we have is the baggage that comes with the word religion. So, we are going to explore the roots of religion and the connection religion has to our spirituality, and particularly through the lens of unity. So, why do we do this? Why? Well, it's very much a practice in unity, and it really began with Charles and Myrtle Fillmore. Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, you may or may not be aware, were Methodists. They were practicing Methodists. They were very devout Methodists. And they began to realize, though, as they studied and read, that though Methodist and Christianity as a whole professed many things, it wasn't being very effective. Christianity professed love, it professed peace, it professed health and wholeness, and that wasn't what was being experienced by the mass of Christians. No pun intended there with the use of the word mass. It had become, as Charles said, the religion about Jesus rather than the religion of Jesus. So what he began doing was going back and finding out where we had lost the spiritual practice, where it had moved from a heart practice to a head practice, where it had lost its connection to the teachings of Jesus and become about Jesus. So he journeyed back through traditional Christianity, back through Judaism, And he began to notice that there were bits and pieces of spirituality, of religion that had been lost and cast off, sometimes intentionally, sometimes accidentally down through the years. One of the things that piqued his interest in the early days of his study and his journey was when he began to find references in the Judaism that was practiced in Jesus' times to the god of the fields, Baal of the fields it was called, or Baal. There's different ways to pronounce that word. And Jewish farmers at the time of Jesus had little shrines to different gods out in their fields. You could say they were trying to make sure they covered all of the bases for a successful harvest. And though they did believe in one God, they also believed that that one God had different ways of showing up and different experiences. As he moved back through the Old Testament, the Hebrew scriptures, he began to notice passages like where Moses encounters the burning bush and has to ask, well, which God are you? And he began to realize that ancient peoples understood that there were many different ways that God presented, usually based on culture, language, and understanding. And that ancient people really didn't imagine that there were different gods. They imagined that there were different ways that God showed up. And they were much more accepting of these different ways than modern man. As he journeyed further back, he discovered that the pantheon of Egyptian gods and goddesses really were representing one god. And of course, there was the Egyptian pharaoh Akhenaten, or also known as Amenhotep, who came up with the first largely accepted monotheistic religion. It didn't survive him as a pharaoh. They immediately went back to the old pantheon and tried to actually erase any mention of the earlier, but that was more about politics and power than it was about spirituality. Interestingly enough, it is from Amenhotep that we get the word amen, which basically means I agree. That's why we say it at the end of a prayer, or it is so. But it does come from the Egyptian pharaoh's name. Charles traced spirituality and religion back further through the Median and Sumerian cultures, all the way back to our prehistoric times. And as he did so, he began to realize that there was a golden thread of truth that connects all religion. If you go all the way back to the days of the hunter-gatherers, naturally we don't know much about their religious beliefs, but we do know some. And we do know that it was largely a feminine belief. It was based and rooted in the divine feminine. Now, of course, religion is very much a patriarchal practice, but it wasn't originally. What happened? Well, there are many theories. There are theories that say that as we moved from hunter-gatherers and became more rooted to individual plots of land and became farmers, that we became more masculine in our thinking. I really see the big shift began to happen with the Roman Empire. But the roots of that shift go all the way back to a misinterpretation found in the book of Genesis. And is found right at the very beginning in Genesis 1:26. So let me read that to you and then we'll explore it a little further. In Genesis 1:26 it is written, "Then God said, let us make humankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and all of the wild animals, and over all of the creatures that move along the ground. God blessed them and said to them, be fruitful and increase in number. Fill the earth and subdue it. Rule over the fish of the sea and the birds in the sky and over every living creature that moves upon the ground." That's the modern translation that has come down to us from the King James Bible, and it was taking form even before the King James. There's some problems with that. If you go back to the original Proto-Canaanite language that was written in, there were some huge missteps taken in translation. And I want to add that that particular passage predates even the Old Testament, even the Hebrew Scriptures. It is found almost word for word in writings from Samaria, from the earliest known roots of Western religion. So let's pick this apart a little bit. It says, to begin with, let us make humankind in our image, not mankind, humankind. And that our, what is that our business? You know, I've always wondered, where did this committee come from? I thought it was just God in the beginning. Well, you have to remember that to the ancient people, God was formless. And God had both masculine and feminine energies. So when it says, let's make God in our image, it was in the image of both energies. It was a wholeness. And that word to rule, even in early English, it had a different meaning. Originally, the word to rule meant to have mastery. To have mastery. What is mastery? Mastery is understanding. Mastery is connection. Mastery is caring. And it meant to really not be in control of something outside of ourselves, but to be in oneness with it. Think about it this way. If we are going to learn to play a violin, let's say, we want to gain mastery over it. But mastery in that case means to learn the instrument, to learn how to play it, to create harmony and melody, to become one with it. It doesn't mean to beat it into submission, to force it to make a sound. You don't pick the violin up and hit it with a hammer and say, make music. No, you become one with it. Your spirit and the spirit of the wood and the strings and the wax and the sinew on the bow become one. What happened with that understanding? Well, I really believe it began to shift largely in the West with the rise of Greece and Rome and their culture. There was a change in consciousness that happened. There's actually some theories in psychology about what occurred with the rise of the Greek culture to the human brain. There are some theories that say that the two lobes, the left and right lobe of the human brain, were not connected prior to that. And that is why humans would literally hear the voice of God. They were hearing part of their brain that was not connected, one lobe or the other. And gradually, as evolution happened, those two lobes fused and connected and became one. That's one theory. Another theory is that as we moved from an agrarian species to a consumer species, to a technological and industrial species, and as we began to shift into this very Romanesque idea of conquest and control and subjugation, we lost that connection. We lost the connection to the divine feminine, and we became more masculine, and we lost the connection literally to Mother Earth. It was a gradual process that spread throughout the West. At the same time that the Roman Empire was rising, Northern European culture was rising. One of the things that people who really don't understand history don't realize is that the Roman authors wrote about history. And so we don't have that understanding of what was happening in the rest of Europe, in this case in particular. Great culture was rising there as well. They weren't hairy, smelly, grunting savages that they were so often depicted in history. Yes, they had beards and the Romans were clean-shaven. Largely that was a matter of climate. But they were very sophisticated, and they had religion, they had science, they had industry. Rome would not have become Rome without the industry of Northern Europe. And they had deep spiritual roots. The major religion of the Northern European culture at that time was what we come to know of as Druidism. But Druidism was not just one culture, and it certainly was not the way it is depicted in miniseries on Netflix and movies and things like that. Druidism was a very advanced, very earth-based, very feminine and masculine, empowered religion. They had a depth of understanding that Rome and the cultures that would rise from the Roman Empire would lose. A Roman soldier in the 4th century wrote this: "Of their advanced dogmas, the Druids believe in the immortality of the soul, and that there is other life in other regions. Further, they believe that all life, all living things are bonded in universal thought." That's very advanced thinking. And as I said, most unfortunately of what we know of the Northern European spirituality has been lost because it was recorded by people who were very much based in masculine thinking and ignoring the female. But what we do know is that they were not a race or a religion. The Druids were priests and priestesses, and they both had equal power. The word druid literally means truth. It translates into English as truth. And as I said, they deeply honored both the male and the female energies and both male and female humans. They had a balance in their leadership. The male priests were called Merlins. You know, we have the Arthurian legends where Merlin is one person who, befriended and raised and trained a boy who would become King Arthur. But Merlin was actually their word for a male priest. And their specific job in that culture was mentoring other males, was settling disputes among the tribes. They were the judges. And to become a Merlin, you had to go through a lot of training, and the first step was music and poetry. That's where the idea of the bard came from, was music and poetry. Why? Because it engaged the divine feminine in the masculine. And there were many steps beyond that, but then there was also the Baduri, or the priestesses. And the priestesses had their headquarters in a village by a lake that would eventually become a castle and later a monastery. Hence the idea of the Lady of the Lake, because that is where the high feminine priestess had her headquarters. And no, she didn't dwell under the water and raise a sword up out of the water to identify a king. But she was responsible for choosing who would be kings, who would be leaders in the various tribes. She was responsible for ensuring that agriculture was accomplished well, that of determining harvests and making sure that village life and that raising children was done well. So they had equal power. And when there was a time when they had to come together to work together, each side had equal power. Interestingly enough, they established schools that were open to all people throughout all of Northern Europe. These schools, as Christianity spread, were taken over and became what were known as monasteries. But before they were monasteries, they were schools, and they educated both boys and girls, male and female. You know, we've all grown up with the story of St. Patrick going to England and driving out the snakes because they represented Satan. That's not really what happened. St. Patrick drove out the Druids from Ireland. That was their last stronghold. And basically he slaughtered them all. And the Druids were known by that time as the snakes because they carried staffs that had snakes and carved snakes entwined on them, like the caduceus. Snakes represented knowledge. It's kind of why they got such a bad reputation through the Middle Ages, because don't want people to have knowledge. It should be for the select few. So you begin to see what happened and how we begin to make this shift that so inundated and predominated and controlled Christianity throughout its evolution. Where did this idea then of just one male God entity come from? Well, as I said, it came really from the Zoroastrian religion. It got a boost in Egypt for a brief period of time, and then really became into dominance in the Roman Empire. But let's stop for a moment in the Egyptian practice, because we get our unity wings from the Egyptians. Charles Fillmore really wanted a symbol that would represent how we think in unity, and at the same time was not the cross. Let's be honest, the cross has a lot of baggage, and it really represents only a terrible 3-day time in Jesus' life, in Jesus' ministry. And Charles really believed that that was not a good symbol for Christianity. In fact, it was not the original symbol of Christianity at all. It would not be the symbol of Christianity for hundreds of years after Jesus' time. The very first symbol of Christianity was a circle with a plus in it, which represented totality. It represented balance. It represented 4 directions. Gradually, Christianity developed other symbols, such as the fish. You all know about that. And even the fish, though, was kind of a secret code that developed during the time of the persecution of Christians in Rome. They would take their foot and make an arc if they were talking to somebody in the sand. And if that person also made an arc that connected it, then they knew it was a safe person to talk to. If they didn't, they just kind of subtly erased the arc they had made. But if you put those arcs one above the other together, they eventually make that fish symbol. So that's how that came about. But the sun symbol, the wings with the disk in the middle, Charles Fillmore wrote this: "The winged globe or sun disk represents the relation existing between spirit, soul, and body. Soul, represented by the wings, gives wings to the body, which is the disk. Spirit is the invisible, enveloping principle, like the atmosphere, in which both soul and body arise and rise, and from which they draw their original inspiration." And of course, as time went on, he put 12 feathers, representing, of course, our 12 powers. So you begin to see these connections that we have. You know, one of the things that unity really is focusing on is how we are a part of nature, not a part of from nature. We do recognize this mother energy that Earth represents. Mother Earth. Because it is from Mother Earth that we take our physical form, our physical life. Without it, without the balance and the energy that Earth herself has, we could not have this physical experience. I have to put a personal pondering and question in here that I have had ever since childhood, and that is about how Christianity treats Earth. You know, I look at, Christianity has this belief, as I said, that we have the right to subjugate and destroy the earth and use it and misuse it any way we want because we have dominion over it. And yet at the same time, we say, well, God created everything. And even from childhood, I could not help but wonder, how can we treat something that God created so horribly? Well, and that extends even to how we treat each other. I digress. Got on my soapbox there for a moment. But we see that God is in all creation. The ancient people, the ancient Jewish, the first Christians recognized that God was in all life and all of creation. If you go back all the way back to the Psalms, you see it. Listen to Psalm number 19 here, which is, by the way, very much a part of Christian practice too. "The heavens declare the glory of God. The skies proclaim the work of his hands. Day after day they pour forth speech. Night after night they display knowledge. There is no speech or language where their voice is not heard. Their voice goes into all the earth, their words to the ends of the world, which is like the bridegroom coming forth from his pavilion, like a champion rejoicing to run his course. It rises at one end of the heavens and makes its circuit to the other, and nothing is hidden from its light. What is that light? What is it they talking about? They're talking about God. They're talking about the divine feminine life energy that God is. Those were our ancestors that knew this. Those were the first Christians that knew this. Those are people who practice every spiritual path that know this. That know that our ancestors who began the journey of evolution of spirit were keenly aware of the relationships between themselves and all of creation. They would have completely understood what Jesus meant when he said, "The Father and I are one. The Mother and I are one." And yes, he did say that. It was taken out of early scriptures, but he did say it. You know, the practice of what we call Wiccan today are with people who have that connection to earth energy, to life energy, is something that was a part of early spiritual practice. And I believe that it is a part we need to reincorporate in all spiritual practice, because it binds us to life, it binds us to earth, it binds us to nature, which is a part of what we are. We are a part of nature. We see references to this in the book of Job, where he's talking and he says, "Ask the animals and they will teach you, or the birds in the sky and they will tell you, or speak to the earth and it will teach you, or let the fish in the sea inform you. Which of these does not know that the hand of the Lord has done this? In his hand is the life of every creature and the breath of all humankind." You know, in our conscious beginning, we knew this. We knew that God is not separate from creation. God is creation. Not just in creation, but is creation. And creation is God. And God is even more than that. We knew that God was inseparable, that Creator and creation were one in the same thing. I've always been fascinated by the fact that the Hopi word for creator and creation is the same word. They don't have two separate words for creator and creation. They only have one, and it's pronounced different ways. I'm not sure what the exact pronunciation is. The best I've heard is Chawa, and it means creator, creation. In the Rastafarian tradition, if you listen closely when they speak, if they're going to the store, they don't say, "I am going to the store." They say, "I and I are going to the store." I, me, and I, Spirit, and I, God, are going to the store. We are all together. We lost that. We lost it through culture. We lost it through misunderstanding and mistranslation. But the interesting thing is, to me, with the rise of postmodern thought, which is where we are at the moment in our evolution. Modern thought was from the beginning of the industrial age to roughly the 1960s, when we began to reawaken to spirit. With that rise and that shift that began to happen and is quickening, even though it doesn't always look like it, it is quickening. We're getting back to that. We're once again becoming aware of the presence of the divine masculine and feminine that God is, and that it is present in all things. We're realizing again that God is not a religion. God is not even a spiritual path. We walk a spiritual path to God, but God transcends all of that. Religion points to a path. Spirituality is our path, and all of those paths lead to God. You know, a while back, I made a statement that prayer is never answered. God does not answer prayer. Prayer is revealed. The answer is always there. The answer is waiting to be revealed. We cannot find God because God is. God is in nature. God is in female. God is in male. God is in creation. And humans are a part of that. We are just as much a part of God as a tree is, a rock is, as the air and water is, as the sunrise and sunset is. These were the first thoughts that people had of God. These were the thoughts that our ancestors had of God, that the ancient religions had of God, where we recognize our dependence and our interdependence with spirit. Modern man is longing for this. Modern humanity is longing for this. And we are beginning to remember the divine masculine, the divine feminine that are one. Because we are a part of it, we are a part in it, and it is in us. And we are remembering that what we do to it and what we do to one another, we do to ourselves. I'm reminded of what Chief Seattle wrote. Teach your children what we have taught our children, that the earth is our mother. Whatever befalls the earth, befalls the sons and daughters of the mother. If men spit upon the ground, they spit upon themselves. This we know. The earth does not belong to us. We belong to the earth. This we know. All things are connected, like the blood that unites one family. All things are connected, and whatever befalls the Mother Earth befalls the sons and daughters of the Mother Earth. We did not weave the web of life. We are merely a strand in it. Whatever we do to the web, we do to ourselves. Oneness stands outside of all intellectual reference, and it can only be a totally holistic experience. It's appropriate that we start this series with this particular lesson on Mother's Day. On a day we honor our own mothers, our grandmothers, all mothers everywhere, and motherhood. Motherhood as Mother Life, Mother Earth, and the motherhood of all creation. We can no longer isolate ourselves from nature, from the mother. We built a wall around the possibility of experience wholeness and oneness when we created religion, when we created this idea of separation of masculine and feminine. And we in unity, and anyone who is walking a spiritual path, is in the process of tearing down those walls. It's interesting that in these times we have so much energy built about walls. A couple decades ago, we tore down a wall. We have people talking about building walls. And we have people finding ways over, under, and through walls. Walls that are figurative, walls that are literal, walls that are manifest, and walls that are in consciousness. That is what we are about. We are about coming back into oneness, back into those ancient beliefs that the ancient people held, that there was a oneness. The echoes of those first paths are being heard once again, are showing up in our spirituality and in our religions. And that's what we're going to be looking at in the coming weeks with this series, is how those echoes are saying, come back together. See that we are all one, that we are all on spiritual paths going up the same mountain. So we'll be looking at those through the lens of Judaism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Christianity, Islam, unity and New Thought. And so perhaps as we begin to understand our roots and the pathways we have traveled, we will come to realize that God has been with us through the whole journey. I'm going to close with an ancient prayer. It's a prayer that in one version or another has been found in every religious practice, every religious path that we know of. It has been found in ancient tombs and ancient songs. It has been found in Christianity, in Buddhism, in Hinduism, in shamanism, in Wiccan, in paganism, in Druidism, in every ism you can imagine. This prayer is universal. Grant us, O God, your protection, and in your protection strength, and in strength understanding, and in understanding knowledge, and in knowledge justice, and in justice love, and in love the love of all life, and in the love of all life the love of all creation, and in the love of all creation your love, your presence, our unity. Amen and namaste.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. You know, I've been personally struggling with this idea of going back to normal after COVID. And yet, as you shared today, I can definitely get behind that going back to honoring our earth. And it's something I know we've all been thinking about, how we can continue this healing for our planet beyond the COVID experience. So thanks for tapping into that memory for me and for all of us. Yeah.
You know, what I say almost every night is that we are in the process of going back to a new, and we could say that new includes the old, and better normal, and bring back some of this understanding.
Yes, absolutely. And I'm so grateful that Unity of Joplin is participating in our movement's Earth Care experience, and we're making a lot of progress that way. So eager to get back to that. So yeah, all good, all good. And if you are just stopping by, if you caught us on Facebook and wondered what's going on over there, it's your first time to visit us, we welcome you. We welcome you to the replay, any replay viewers that find us. And the good news is, even if you're not from Joplin, you are going to be able to connect with us as we continue on, because we will be continuing these virtual experiences. So that opens up a whole world, right, you guys? We can invite our friends and other family members that are living elsewhere to tap in and tune in to our Sunday experiences. What a blessing. What a blessing. We welcome all of you and are so grateful that you're here today. We are going to kind of shake things up a little bit with our children's blessing, because it is Mother's Day and we are honoring all of the mothers at Mother Earth. And so instead of just blessing the children, we certainly do bless them. We're going to bless mothers as well. And I believe we have a slide for that.
Well, I believe we did. I don't know what happened to it. But we are going to do the children's blessing, but instead of saying, you are a perfect child of God, we are going to say, you are a perfect mother of God. Because we all are mothers of God. We all, at one level or another, express that mother energy. And as we do so, though, we are going to bring to mind the mothers of the earth. Our mothers, any mother, anybody who is a mother. So, thank you, Sam. That was Sam. Yes, we will. So, together, mothers, you are a perfect mother of God. And God and I love you just the way you are. Let's say that together. I'm going to mute this so it's not cacophonous.
Mother, you are a perfect mother of God, and mother and God, and I love you just the way you are.
Thank you.
Thank you. Very good. Yes.
And so we'll join together now in our peace song and our prayer of protection Don't forget, Gordon will be around. We'll all be around after the service to just have some fellowship and say good morning.
Okay, let's do our peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, we are family. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my song now. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And as soon as I can get the slide to advance here. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us.
The love of God
The power of God protects us.
Protects us.
Presence of God.
And the presence of God watches over us. Wherever
Wherever we are, God is.
And all
Is well.
all is well.
I am laughing because there's some mics that are unmuted, and because of delays, everybody's in a different point in the prayer. But you know what? It's all a beautiful noise. So to all of our Facebook people, let's see, who do we have on Facebook? Who can I see today? I can't see everybody, but I can see Leanne, Billy and Shayna, Michael Woodruff. I got to share this with you. We filmed our commercial this week, and Michael's putting it together, so keep your eyes open.
Eric's here.
Who is?
Eric.
Eric. All right. Hi, Eric. And probably Linnea
Yeah.
and Juniper. And we got Gary and Jerry. And Neely and Kim are showing up all over the place. And Jefferson.
Yeah. Carolyn and Marilyn.
Carolyn
George.
and Marilyn. Kim Bowman. Hi, Kim. Sherry. Hi, Sherry. And anybody else that I can't see on the feed there, I know you're there, even if I don't know exactly who you are, and we are so glad you are with us. And
Yeah.
everybody on
And
Facebook,
I
too.
noticed, Rebecca Howard was with us on Zoom.
Oh, yes.
Your ears should be burning. Some folks were sending you some loving energy this weekend.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So, any comments or questions about the evolution of spirituality? Or anything?
I'm glad it's evolving.
Yes, yes. You know, Christianity kind of got stuck for a long time. And it needs to evolve.
I'm much happier that we're going back to the idea of loving our Mother Earth and, taking care of it and making it beautiful.
Yeah. Yep. And I know that's a passion of yours. We don't get to go to the church right now, but if you get a chance, drive by. Our grounds look gorgeous.
I did that yesterday when I attempted to wait in line for the recycling center. And it looks beautiful. Thank you all for helping. And
Yeah.
Marilyn, I can't even think of how many years you have been tending our little plot of earth there. So thank you.
Yeah, it is beautiful.
Joy. We got some special new things that came this year. We have some new columbines that are blooming in a couple of different colors. Of
I saw
purple
those.
in our soccer garden. So if you drive by slowly, you may see them.
Yeah. And you can get out and walk around the grounds. We'll let you. Maybe you'll get to say hi to Bernie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bernie's in-house now.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah, he's been patrolling the grounds.
Yeah, I've had that. I go in once a week, and well, I don't think I actually got in. Oh no, I did for a while this week. I go into the office once a week to, do paperwork and stuff like that, and sign checks and things, and get to see Bernie, and it's a treat. There he is.
Hey, Bernie.
Hi, Bernie. I hear voices.
Bernie he's a fine fellow.
Yeah.
Hi, Bernie.
He doesn't quite understand video.
No, dogs don't. Ours will bark once in a while if she hears me.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's Bernie.
So who's anybody doing anything for Mother's Day? As much as we can right now?
Well, I don't get to see.
Today's my garden playing day.
Ah. Good.
Josh Shackles.
We're through with the phone. I'm sorry.
Josh Shackles was selling chocolate-covered strawberries, and I was able to order some for my mama.
Oh, good.
Over.
That
Yeah.
sounds good.
He's really doing a lot to connect with the people of Joplin and connect the people of Joplin together. I'm very, very impressed with what he's been doing. He's,
Yes.
I don't know how many of you know Josh. He's, is he on the city council or running for city council?
Yeah, he's
Running for
He's running, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've known Josh since we were teenagers.
Have you?
He's always been a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
For a lot of years, he's had a lot of interest in the history of Joplin. He led the Ghost Tour. I'm not sure if he's still.
Did he really? Well, I'll be darned. Huh.
Yeah.
did that over here in Murfreesburg.
Yeah, and him running for city, it's a good move for him. It's right up his alley, I think.
Yeah. And he's very good about connecting different groups of people and building bridges. I had met him once or twice and everything, but I didn't really know him until he started getting active in this.
And he has a daily post
Yep.
from the Joplin Historic and Mineral Museum, which is excellent.
Yeah. And he sells chocolate-covered strawberries, apparently, which somehow I missed.
Yeah, who knew? Michael knew.
Yep. Yeah. Lou, how is Charlene doing?
No, she's doing well. She goes to physical therapy 2 or 3 times a week. Still improving slowly.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, tell her we give her our love and hold her in our prayers. And I see Mike. Hi, Mike. Mike Wiley. Hi.
Oh, hi.
We think about you, too. Miss you.
Yeah, he said he snuck up on you.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
This is Bo on my lap, and if you look behind me on top of my chair is Sam, and she sat through the whole service.
Oh, wow. I can't see you all real good because I have so much stuff on my screens, but Let me close off some of these so I can get you all a little bigger there.
Kim, how was last night's event? That picture was beautiful.
OMG, amazing.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely amazing.
Good, good.
What event was it?
I did a card reading for
Oh,
a
that's
birthday
right,
party. There was
yes.
like 30 people there,
Wow.
and like 29 of them had readings.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes.
I bet that was fun.
It was. It was fun. I was only supposed to be there for 2 hours, but I ended up being there about 3 hours and 15 minutes because I had a line.
Wow.
Long line.
Neat.
So I was actually reading in the dark. They were holding their cameras up with their flashlights so I could read the cards for them.
Fun.
Yeah. Well, we had planned to have a psychic fair at the church
Yep.
before we had to close it.
I was going to be there.
Yeah, but we'll get that back once we know, how things are going forward. We'll get that back in the works.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Maybe then we'll also have that makeover day. The hair and makeup day.
Yeah.
Makeup.
Yeah.
I was telling them before the service that
I'm really looking.
that should be
Go
our
ahead, Susie. And
I think Anne froze.
Did I?
Oh, no, there you go.
yes, she did.
You were just holding really, really still.
Doesn't happen a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to when we can all be together again.
Oh gosh,
This is
me too.
okay,
Yeah.
but it's not the same.
Yeah. And for Rebecca and anybody else, we're going to keep streaming even after we are back together. Because there's, Rebecca, you have a hard time getting here sometimes. And Sarah and Mary Sue, and there's others who watch us now that can't get to church physically. And so we're going to keep doing this. This is going to become a regular
I think that's great.
practice. Lou, I like what you did to your background. What is it, though? I can't tell.
Okay, I believe, yes, I'm pretty sure this is a picture of the south side of the Grand Canyon taken from the North Rim.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Very nice.
This
Can I
will be
say
a
something
perfect
to
place.
Rebecca?
What?
Can I say something to Rebecca?
Sure.
Rebecca, I sent you a private message. I don't know if you know how to get it, but I just want you to know that I've been asking about you a lot. And I've been sending prayers, and you're always in my thoughts. And I know you've got a big job caring for your beloved husband. And I just want you to know that I'm always thinking about you. And I can't wait till I get to see you again.
And I was just going to add that I think this is a beautiful day to enjoy nature, just as Gordon was talking about Mother Earth
Yeah.
and other developments. So over and out.
All right, Susie. Have a good week.
Happy Mother's Day.
Bye.
Susie.
Right?
Bye, Susie.
And I'm just looking to see who all is still with us on Facebook. Still got 7 people. So, anybody else have plans for today?
I'm going to call
Get dirty.
friends that are mothers.
Mm-hmm.
Check in.
Yeah.
I already checked in with Arlise Bradley this morning.
Oh, how are they doing?
They're doing really well. Really well. Yeah. So.
I was just thinking about her the other day.
Yeah.
Came across a picture and thought of her. Yep. So, all right, well, gang, I'm going to jump off here. I've got a few things I got to do for the church, and then I'm going to take the day off.
Yay.
Good for you.
Which I see Novella smiling about.
I hope your birthday was excellent.
It was a lot of fun. Yes.
Good.
Yes, we grilled up some
I'll be
steaks.
leaving too, so long, everybody.
Bye, Lou.
Bye, Lou.
Have a good week.
Bye, Lou.
Bye, Lou.
Grilled up some
I'm
steaks.
leaving too. My plants are calling me.
Okay. All
Bye,
right.
Marilyn.
Need me.
Bye, everybody. Bye, everybody on
See you next
Facebook.
time.
Bye.
Yeah. Bye.